Miletich, our first ever lightweight championship here in the most intense bare-knuckle combat on the planet. The ultimate proving ground for the ultimate in combat, 100% adrenaline, 1000% pure guts. 170 pounds, they have to be less than Pat Miletich, the reigning lightweight tournament champion who debuted impressively with those victories, as you saw a moment ago, against Saunders and Brennan in New Orleans. A 2-0 record in the UFC, a veteran of 25 mixed martial arts fights.
Miletich, the first lightweight tournament winner, has fought the likes of Dan the Beast Severn to a draw. Mikey Burnett certainly coming out of the Lions Den. They train with everyone. You don't get a lightweight to train with. You train with Ken Shamrock, Frank Shamrock, Pete Williams. So both are used to going up against bigger opponents. This is really going to come down to striking skill and speed.
Here's Miletich on his strategy tonight.
I'm just going to try and push the pace as much as possible and see how his endurance is. It seems that he got a little tired against Eugenio Tadeu. Tadeu's a very tough fighter, a very aggressive guy, but he's only 160 pounds, and it seemed that Burnett got pretty exhausted during the fight, so I'm going to see if I can tire him out like that and then finish him off.
He's been wrestling since second grade. He likes the rear naked choke. He has used that excessively in victories throughout his career. He says, I know I'm the better conditioned fighter. Mikey Burnett, though, may be the more aggressive fighter. He has a Tank Abbott-like style of aggressiveness. This young man, 25 years old, 5'6", 169 pounds, has incredible strength. In 1994, he was ranked the #1 power lifter in his weight class. A 600-pound squat, 600-pound deadlift, 400-pound bench press. Since then, his training has been consistent.
I'm gonna go out and do what I do, and I'm gonna attack. You know, that's my game plan. I'm a finishing fighter. I'm not gonna go out and do anything different for anybody. You know, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna go out like the same game plan every time, and that's just to take them out. I don't want to go to the time limit. If it goes to the time limit, fine. But I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna put the pressure on. I'm gonna stay on them.
Mikey Burnett possesses tremendous athleticism. With all of that power, he's got good hands, hits really, really hard, and he's got a tremendous stable, the Lions Den, to learn from. Pat Miletich, he's a hard worker. He's had to bear down to gain everything that he has, and he wears with pride what looks like the Iowa insignia on his trunks. That is what the Iowa Hawkeyes, the wrestling team, wears.
For the official introductions, the veteran voice of the Octagon, the lightweight belt is on the line. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is for the UFC Lightweight Championship of the World. Beginning with the fighter standing to my left, a freestyle jiu-jitsu expert with a mixed martial arts record of 22-1-2. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighs in at 169 pounds. He comes to us all the way from Davenport, Iowa. Please welcome the Croatian sensation, Pat Miletich. And his opponent, standing to my right, he is a submission fighter with a UFC record of 1-0. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 169 pounds. He represents the Lions Den and is fighting out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. He is known as the Eastside Assassin. Please welcome Mikey Burnett. And our third man in the ring for this championship.
We had hoped to see this matchup in the finals of the lightweight tournament in UFC 16 in New Orleans, but Burnett hurt his hand. He's 5 years younger than Miletich and a bit shorter. The weight is the same. Mikey Burnett packs a lot of power in that 169-pound frame. Miletich, much more experienced, more knowledge on the ground. Burnett, if you give an edge to striking, I believe you would give it to Mikey Burnett.
I certainly would, but look at both of these athletes. Look at the kind of physical condition that they're in. There is not an ounce of fat.
Let's get it on! Come on!
We're underway here for the lightweight championship of the world. In the Super Bowl of mixed martial arts, this is the one, the only Ultimate Fighting Championship. Miletich has self-admitted at times he's a slow starter. He likes to feel his opponents out.
That's another way of saying he finishes strong, which is meaning he's got great condition. Burnett now with a guillotine choke, and it's not sunk fully. It's over the top of the arm, but the head isn't turned to the elbow. Burnett standing straight up. Miletich a hold of his trunks, trying to keep him close so he can lift him. And again, the hard arch on that choke. Lost it there again.
Miletich trying to use the shorts, the white shorts of Mikey Burnett, to gain some leverage and work his neck out of danger.
That's how he's keeping that choke from really sinking deep.
Now he attempts a knee strike. In close range, Burnett, remember, he can throw some jackhammers. A readjustment of the equipment to Mikey Burnett's shorts, and the crowd reacts. Very vocal crowd here tonight in Gineceu Portuguesa, just outside of downtown Sao Paulo, Brazil. Mike Goldberg, Jeff Blatnick, happy to be with you here tonight as we have gone global again, 10 months after a great success in Shin Yokohama, Japan. Now the shorts being utilized by the other man.
Now, they're both testing the elasticity of that material.
10 months ago, Jeff, we broke all-time ratings records on Nippon TV, Japan's largest network. 40% of the nation witnessed Ultimate Japan. Tonight, we have a live simulcast with our friends at Sport TV here in Brazil, who have also broadcast the last couple of events stateside. And we are happy and pleased and honored to be partnered tonight with Sergio Bottarelli and our friends at Sport TV.
Greco-Roman wrestling right there. Miletich got double underhooked by Burnett, and Burnett able to get to the body, lift, and drive him down to the ground. But this is where Miletich is a survivor. Severn couldn't do anything to him here, but Mikey Burnett's a different element than Severn. Severn's never been known for his striking. Burnett's got heavy hands.
Now, Miletich is a big mixed martial arts fan. He's been active in many debates with local politicians, talking about the true sport in which is displayed inside the octagon. He also was quick to compliment Mikey Burnett, saying his fight against Eugenio Taddeo probably single-handedly created interest in this new weight division. He knows of Burnett's explosiveness. He knows, Pat Miletich does, that he's the more methodical fighter.
Without a doubt, I think Miletich is much more methodical, more blue-collar. Mikey Burnett possesses that athleticism that at any time can end the fight. Miletich has to wear on you and then slowly overcome you. He is capable, however, of landing a blow. I would also like to point out, too, Miletich, when he won that lightweight tournament, actually, after it was over, waiting for transportation, was talking to his opponent, giving him advice on what he needed to work on and how to go about doing it. There's tremendous honor between these fighters. They share knowledge, and that is why you've seen alliances and Lions Den and a lot of cross-training, people traveling to get and learn the skills that they need to use in the octagon.
Jeremy Horn is going to relocate to Davenport, Iowa to train full-time with Pat Miletich. Another example of what you're talking about, Jeff. He has only lost Pat Miletich one time in a mixed martial arts competition, a controversial doctor stoppage against Matt Hume in an extreme fight years ago.
And Miletich has a great guard here. Burnett really unable to solve its defense, not being able to land any blows. Miletich being active, punching when he can. But Burnett unable to get any kind of submission going, and certainly not getting any kind of striking going. And see, he wants to bring it up. He knows he can't solve that riddle.
4.5 minutes in. This is a belt fight. It is for the lightweight championship of the world. So the time period is 15 minutes of regulation and then 2 3-minute overtime periods if needed.
A little more pressure, Mikey. 5 minutes, Mikey.
Mark Hansen in Miletic's corner. Guy Mezger in the corner of Mikey Burnett.
Once again, Miletic backing Burnett in, and Miletic is a weight cutter. He actually dropped some weight to get to this weight class, so he does look a little bit larger than Mikey Burnett. And I feel he thinks that's an advantage from his wrestling days, where he's a little bit larger, and if he's acclimated to the weight, he certainly is going to be able to wear you down over the course of the fight, the little larger body adding to that effort.
Mikey Burnett, in our pre-fight interviews, said it is going to be a hell of a match. And so far, two equally skilled fighters have worked it both methodically and tried to get their spots to strike. Burnett doesn't want it to go the distance. He told us yesterday, Jeff, he doesn't want to leave his fate for the lightweight outcome in the hands of 3 other people. He wants to take it within his own hands.
Well, certainly every fighter wants to keep it in his own hands. That's what he meant by that statement. He didn't mean that he doesn't think he can go the distance. He just doesn't want the referees to decide the fate of his skill and his competition. I think that's the way with any competitor. But thus far on the feet, Miletic's reach has kept Burnett from really being able to get inside and punch.
Now, with that thought in mind, and a point well taken, Jeff, also Pat Miletic was quick to point out yesterday that he is going to attempt to run Mikey Burnett out of gas.
That certainly is a good ploy if you feel you have cardio. It's hard to believe anybody from the Lions Den, however, doesn't have cardio, but advantages can be very subtle, and it only takes a momentary lapse due to fatigue to create an opening that can give you the advantage. And Miletic is very smart that if he feels he has that, and certainly the confidence to do that, then that is what he's going to go ahead and employ, and that fits right into his slow start, strong finish.
All right, they were on their feet. They couldn't strike effectively, keeping close quarters for both. And John McCarthy, 7 minutes into the 15-minute regulation period, brings them to their respective corners. Mikey Burnett, 25 years old, born in Tulsa. Pat Miletic with the Iowa shorts on from Davenport, Iowa. A former All-State product from Bettendorf in both football and wrestling. Growing up 40 miles from the University of Iowa. Dan Gable in the great history of fine wrestling from the University of Iowa. One of his many heroes, Pat Miletic. He shoots.
Burnett waiting for it. Again, the shorts come into play. That's Miletic's weapon thus far from being knocked down to the ground, is able to hang on to the shorts. It's interesting that Miletic also said he doesn't think it's going to go to the distance, and he meant that in terms of someone's going to win before it goes that far.
Now, the real key was to stay aggressive. Both fighters said that. But if you were to rank who is the most aggressive in their mixed martial arts career, more defensive at times is Miletic, more aggressive at times is Burnett. Most times, in fact.
It seems that way thus far, but right now it just seems that Miletic is content moving forward. I think thus far in this fight, Mike, he has moved forward. He's constantly pushing Burnett into the fence, looking to try to take him down. I don't think Mikey has really gotten on track yet with any of his real offense. Miletic has been able to get the opportunity to, well, excuse me, Burnett does have one takedown. That has thus been his big offensive thing. But Miletic again, oh, a nice duck under there, almost caught Burnett. But it's just this way that Miletic seems to just stifle your offense. He takes you really out of your game plan. Nothing comes clean. So everything looks kind of sloppy, kind of slow. But that's the kind of fighter Miletic is. He really keeps you from really winding up your offense and getting it going.
He has been in this game a long time, 30 years old, as I mentioned. A mixed martial arts record of 22-1-2. Under a minute now to go to 10, so under 6 minutes remaining in the regulation time period. Down goes Burnett.
And Burnett nearly had submission lock on the arm there. Second takedown now, and that was a pretty good attempt at a submission lock. That's the closest thing thus far in the fight to a submission. But Miletic's guard is tough. He's very, very long. He's got that ability to keep you away from his head, thus you really can't strike effectively.
Now Now, Miletich in our lightweight tournament in New Orleans with the distance won a split decision over Townsend Saunders, then choked out Chris Brennan.